Welcome. My name's Chris Davis. I am a ketogenic carnivore coach, and today I just want to talk to you, friend to friend, about how you talk to your doctor, right? When you're ketogenic or ketovore or carnivore, right? Most times, right, my doc thinks I'm nuts. Why would you want to do that? You're not getting fiber in your diet. You're missing macronutrients. You're not going to be healthy. I think I'm doing all right, so I'm going to keep on keeping on. But how do you get your doctor convinced? So every year, my husband and I, we go down to the VA clinic. Yes, we're both veterans, and they do blood work. They do a standard physical, blood pressure, height, weight, all that crap. So I have a new doc for the last couple of years. My other doc retired, and she just worries, right? Like most docs, because again, I don't fault her. She knows what she was taught, right? And she had zero reason to believe that what she was taught was anywhere near incorrect, right? So, but through this channel and trying to help you and myself learn about what the actual facts are, right? The fact that we've been lied to for like the last 150 years, that kind of clued us in. How do we get her to believe it? So I've been working with her the last couple of years, that we are ketogenic. I've been ketogenic for 13 years. My husband came on board about 3 years ago when we went carnivore. We are more ketovore now. The only thing I eat that's not animal product is romaine lettuce, and I chalk that up to the fact that I can't seem to get my protein fats correct, and I have no gallbladder. So what are you going to do? That works. And so every year we get our blood work, and every year she's concerned because this, that, or the other marker isn't within the normal range. Again, if you watch my other videos, and please do, I'm trying to spread the word of what the reality is. The lab makes up those numbers, right? And I've told her that. I said, the lab picks their ranges, and they pick it off the population that gets their blood drawn. Well, guess what? Shocker. Spoiler alert, they're carb burners. They're not going to have the same numbers as me, right? They're not. Unless you get where you have, right? For example, I live in a town of about 520 people. If 90% of us were at least ketogenic, if not carnivore, then yeah, by God, let's look at our blood work every 3 months for a year and let's see what a new range could be. And so that's one, is when you get your blood work, just understand that even though it's out of normal, it may not be, right? For example, total cholesterol, right? If it was less than 300, it was fine, and then it was less than 200, and now they want it less than 150. Why? Because then they can get everybody on a fucking statin. If I could get everybody to take a fucking statin, which does no good, sorry, research shows that if you've already had a heart attack, it might give you 4 days. I'm healthy, right? I may have physical limitations, right? I got a bad back. I've had knee surgery, shoulder surgeries, right? My joints are for shit. But as far as, being healthy, I feel like I'm doing pretty good at 51 years old, right? So that's the other thing. Have the information, have the knowledge, but don't berate your doctor, because I don't believe that they are having malicious intent when they're telling you, hey, you need to or you should, because it's based off of what they learned in school. It's just that what they learned in school is incorrect, right? We've been lied to, the information's been skewed, and so that's one. Another is get your CAC score. Right? It's a 2-minute CT scan. They give you your coronary artery calcium score, lets you know the calcification in your heart. For example, mine is 0, right? It was 0 last year and it's 0 this year. So I'm going to get it checked like every 10 years, just as a marker, right? Because I did tip over the 50 and I'm on the downhill side now, I'm 51. So I'll just keep an eye on it and see what it does. But it gives you an idea, right? I also had a colonoscopy. Because again, I obviously don't eat a lot of fiber. I maybe have, I think my salad is 2 cups of romaine lettuce, maybe a cup and a half, but let's say 2, once a day, right? That's all I have. Other than that, it's all animal products. And so conceivably, right, I should be on the verge of colon cancer because, oh my God, that blasted red meat is what's causing colon cancer. No, No, it's not. They haven't proven that at all. In the study, if you watch my other video on colorectal cancer, you see that the information is just bullshit. The way that they categorize meat eaters is ridiculous. So get your CAC score and show your doctor. Right? I explained it to my doctor last year when I got the first one done. And so she had her husband and hers done, and her husband's was almost 400. Right? So he's on the verge of a heart attack. And we visited this time, and she was saying about he had a near widowmaker. And you're like, see, it's worth it. It's worth getting it done. I've had my liver scanned. I've got a picture perfect liver. Showed her that information. About the only thing I got going, really, and it's causing most of my issues, is my hereditary hemochromatosis, right? I have too much iron in my blood, and so it's caused me to have a dilated right ascending aorta. So that's the part of the heart, and it's trying to pump the blood, and I had too much iron for most of my life, right? I didn't get diagnosed till I think I was 47, and so I got to keep an eye on that, right? It's 39 millimeters. Until it's 50 or 51 millimeters, it's not surgery worthy, but I am trying to get an MRI with angiography just to look at it and check. So have the information, right? That's the key. If you're going to go to your doctor and you're going to talk to your doctor about your health, then you need to be educated on what it means, right? So as soon as I got diagnosed with hereditary hemochromatosis, I started looking at the possible side effects just from having the disease. Now, my treatment is just going and getting phlebotomy, right? So I do bloodlettings. They take out about 500 milliliters of blood each time. I go about every 12 weeks. And so that's my treatment. It's to get my body to create more blood that doesn't have the iron in it. And then obviously as I build up the iron, I do another letting, and it's just this rinse and repeat fucking process for the rest of my damn life. But that's okay, because I go to the Red Cross every other time, and hopefully they're doing something with it besides throwing it in the trash. So, but moral of the story, be informed. Have the information, right? Go knowledgeable to your doctor. For example, my mom, she gets the flu shot every year, and my husband and I don't, right? We don't get the flu shot. We never got the COVID shot. We don't get the tetanus. We don't get the shingles. We don't get any shots. And she said, well, my doctor makes me. Excuse me? Are you out your damn mind? You are getting a shot put into your body. You have no fucking idea what's actually in that shot. So choose wisely, right? For us, we have chosen to use our God-given immune system that He has given us, and we are trying to stay as healthy as possible. And so if you're like us and you're ketogenic, ketovore, carnivore, one, you're getting all the nutrients you need. You're getting everything your body needs, especially if you eat cow. If you eat beef, right, red meat, then you are getting all the nutrients you need, all the vitamins, all the minerals that your body needs, right? Now, people say, oh, well, you're deficient in magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Not if I eat liver, which I am that 5-year-old that you have to hide the fucking liver because I just don't like the taste, but I do hide it. Which is interesting because I'm the one that does the fucking cooking at the house, and I'll eat the hamburger that has, ground up liver in it, but I won't eat liver by itself. So if that works for you, hey, make it work for you. But don't use the excuse that, well, my doctor said I need to eat oats. My doctor said I need bullshit. You don't need oats. You don't need carbs. There are 0 required carbohydrates. Your body uses gluconeogenesis to create the carbohydrates from the fat on your body. And even if you're lean, there's still fat there that your body can use. So really, you don't need to ingest carbohydrates. Now, if you can ingest carbohydrates, say 100 grams gross, 150 grams gross, good on you. Good for you. Just like the smoker that smokes for 60 years and never gets lung cancer, right? But for me, it's why chance it? Like, I'm going for 120 years old, right? I want to be 105 in the pool swimming, not 100 years old in a wheelchair sucking out of a straw, right? So it depends on what your goal is, but don't let your doctor mandate what you do with your health, because I encourage you, watch some of my other videos. I'm going to continue to find these videos, well, maybe these videos, but articles for sure, and break them down and look at the references and look at the bullshit, because so far what I find is they use fancy terms, right? Cohort study, which means group of people. Epidemiological, which means observational, right? Can you remember what you ate for the last year? Because that's what they're asking you. One study was every 4 years. Seriously? Unless you're using some app and you go to a restaurant with a scale and you measure everything and enter it exactly, it's totally skewed. So unless it's a randomized controlled trial, which those are better, but again, they may not be perfect, so that's why I go through the research. So don't give up, right? If you have a stubborn doc that's just hell-bent convinced you have to have fruits, vegetables, and grains in your nutrition, find a new doctor. You have the choice to go to a new doctor. You don't have to keep your doc. Well, I've been with him for 40 years. Okay, and good. How's he been treating you, right? Are you healthy? Are you sick? Do you fail the DICTU test? Right, for those of you who don't know the DICTU test for men, if you walk up against a wall and your belly hits before your dick does, you failed the DICTU test. So that means you're not metabolically healthy. So consider that, right? Chicks, if your belly hits before your boobs, then you might want to look at that. Now me, ain't exactly well endowed and I don't give a shit, but I pass. So look at that as a simple marker of metabolic health, which you look around the world, and especially America, good Lord, we are just bigger and fatter than ever. And it's choice. Right? It might be skewed choice, right? Because, man, they get really good at advertising and are really good at making unhealthy food taste good. But you know what? I have yet to look at my ribeye steak for dinner and go, man, I wish that would be something else. No, I've had a ribeye steak for the last 3 years for dinner. And I'm having one again tonight. So, I hope this helps somebody. Please consider watching some of my other videos, as I do try to put out a video a week. I kind of went 3 weeks this time just because of life. This is not my full-time job, but I would love to make it my full-time job to just help people. Help people get better, help people live better and longer and be stronger. So if you see this information and you think it'll help somebody, please share it out. That's my whole goal, is to just inform people that don't believe the bullshit. You are your best doctor. You live with yourself 24/7. You should have a better idea what's going on with you. And just because a doc says you need this, that, or the other fucking pill, nope, sure don't. Thank you though. And, go on from there. So with that, I wish you a blessed day.